Hello everyone, myself Sowmya, Assistant Professor in CSE AIML Department, MLR Institute of Technology. So in this video, we are going to discuss about JavaScript DOM. So that is Document Object Model. So this is actually HTML DOM, but we are discussing in the JavaScript. Using JavaScript only, we can achieve this. So in this video, we are going to discuss about what is DOM and what are the different types of DOM we have and what are the uses of DOM. So why we are using this document object model. And we have different methods of DOM. We will see those methods with the examples. So first of all, what is DOM? So DOM is nothing but document object model. So it is a W3C standard, World Wide Web Consortium standard. So now this mainly the DOM usage is for accessing the document. So till now you are accessing the HTML document using an object called document. But till now in these programs we were using only the one method, that is write, so which is used to write the some content on the HTML document. But now if I want to modify the HTML content, if I want to remove some elements from the HTML document, if I want to add some attributes, add some properties from the JavaScript, then it is possible by using this DOM. So we have actually three types of DOM. So one is core DOM, XML DOM, HTML DOM. So core DOM is for all type of documents, whereas XML DOM is only for XML document. XML stands for Extensible Markup Language. So it is not for displaying actually. XML will store some content. There we can define our own tags. So based on your program, it will provide some structure for your XML document. The same way to access that XML document, we can use this DOM. The same way we know HTML, right? HTML is mainly for displaying purpose, whereas XML is not for displaying purpose, but it will store some content. At the same time, we can create our own tags in XML, whereas in HTML, it's not possible. It is only for displaying. So HTML DOM is mainly used for HTML. So we are using DOM, okay, but why we are using? So we will see in the next slide. We have uses of DOM, why we are including DOM in the HTML, that we will see in the next slide. But coming to this one, so how this DOM internally maintains our program. So we will write one HTML program or XML program, whatever it may be. So it will maintain, it will provide a tree structure for your document. So this is a tree structure for my HTML document. For example, we know the main element is a document. What is this document? It is an HTML document. So what is the root tag in HTML document? That is HTML tag. So HTML tag is the root tag. In this again we have two parts. One is the header element and the other one is body element. So you can observe for every tag you are writing as a element. So all tags considered as a elements here. Under this head element again I have sub element. What is that sub element? Title. So for title, you're giving some text. Why? Because see, title, my page, and then I'm closing my title. So what is text attached with this title? That is my page. So this will be considered as text and this will be considered as a element. So under this element, title element, what is this text? My title. The same way in the body section, I have two elements here. The first element is a element, that is anchor tag, and the other element is H1 tag. So under this A element, again I have another term, that is attribute. So this element is having one attribute. What is that attribute? href. And along with that attribute, it is also have some text. What is that text? My link. For example, like this, a href is equal to some value I am giving and I need to give some text. What is that text? My link. Then close this. So this is an element, this is an attribute, and this is the text attached with the associated with the element. The same way for H1, we are not giving any attributes here, no attributes, but only text is there. What is the text? My header. So like this, whatever the program you write, all the tags will be considered as elements, all the attributes will be considered as attribute, and the text that associated with that tag will be considered as a text. So based on these terms, DOM will provide a tree structure for your document. So by that, it will easily process the data. It will easily access the data to modify or to add anything. Now coming to uses of DOM. So what is the use of DOM in HTML? So the first thing is it can change all the HTML elements. So just now in the previous video, we have seen like how to access a P element using ID tag. So we were accessing the paragraph tag based on the ID. So like that, we can access all the elements, right? And we can change the HTML attributes also. So for example, href is equal to, I'm just writing go to google.com. So link. So whenever you click on this link, where I'm going, I'm redirecting to google.com. But I can modify this href value using DOM. So just instead of Google, I'm just changing it to mlrit.ac.in. But where you're doing, how you're doing, using the JavaScript DOM. So that is possible. You can also change the attribute values. And you can also change the styles, CSS, cascading style sheets. And you can remove the elements and you can add the new elements. Right? And you can also handle the events using DOM. And you can create new events also. Existing events you can handle. At the same time, you can create new events from the JavaScript DOM itself. You are not doing all this in the HTML. You are doing all this in the JavaScript itself. But from JavaScript, you are accessing the HTML. So, next we will see DOM methods. We have basically two different methods in the DOM. So the method one. So in the method one, we are using some predefined array. So what is that array name? Forms. So we know HTML document can be referred using a predefined object called document. So now to access the elements exist in the HTML document, you are using this object. Now, so we will see this later. First we will discuss about the body part. So in the body part, in the HTML program, what you are creating a form. For this form, I am creating a name. What is the name of the form? Form 1. In this form, I have two fields. The first field is one text field. For this text field, I have given a name called name itself. And coming to the second element, that is a submit button. So here I have written some event handler. So what is the event handler here? On click. So whenever you click on the submit button, which function will be called? Fun1 will be called. The function 1 will be called. So now what is this function 1? So here I am writing the function 1. So what is function 1? So first, the function 1 simply it wants to say hello to the name which we have entered in this text field, right? So now first I need to retrieve that value to say hello or hi for that, right? So how I am retrieving here? We know how to access your HTML document using document object. But now you are accessing your form data. So these details are available within the form. So to access the form data, we have a predefined array here. What is that predefined array name? Forms. F-O-R-M-S, forms. So in this forms, we are passing it as a two-dimensional array. So the first dimension you need to pass as a form name of the form. So you are accessing from forms array, that's fine. But from which form you are accessing? If you are having multiple forms, you need to identify that. You need to differentiate that. So what is the form? From which form you are accessing? Form 1. So here I need to pass the attribute as the value as a form 1. Under this form 1, we have two different elements, right? One is name and the other one is a button. So which element you want to access? That name also you need to pass here, right? So the first dimension is the name of the form. The second dimension is the field name, element name. So name I want. So dot value, the value available at that element. So dot value indicates the value present over there. So this value you are retrieving and where you are storing? You are storing in a local variable called name, N-A-M-E, right? So simply what I am doing, hello, name. So whatever the name I am entering over there, so that will be displayed here. So we'll try to execute this. We'll see the output. So what it is providing? It is providing a text field followed by button. So in the text field, you can give any name, and if you click on submit, So this is the output we are getting. In this text field, we need to enter some name. And if I click on submit, I am getting hello followed by that name. Whatever you are entering this with the same name, it is just adding a message hello. So in this program, we have seen if the data is available in the form, it is okay. It's fine. We can use the forms array. But if if the data is not available in the form, if I want to access the data from the paragraph, if I want to access the data from some heading, so those are not part of form. So I cannot use this forms array over there. Then what is the another method? We have method 2. So in the method 2, again we have 3 different ways to access the elements, different elements, not the form elements. Of course, you can also access the form elements here, but along with the form elements, we can access the different elements. So we will see 3 different methods here. So the first method is a document.getElementById. Get element by ID. So based on the ID, you are accessing the elements. From where you are accessing? You are accessing from the document. Document refers what? HTML document. So from the HTML document, based on some ID, you are retrieving the element and you can modify that element, you can remove that element, whatever you want, you can do that. But what is the method you are using to access the element based on the ID? Get element by ID. So this method will expect one parameter. What is that parameter? ID value. Whatever the ID you are providing in the HTML, the same ID you should give here. And here, if you want to modify the content or if you want to place some text to that element, then you need to use some property here. What is that? Inner HTML. So inner HTML, what it will do? It will write this content to this element. Whatever the element you are accessing, this content will be written over there. So for that purpose, what is the property you are using? Inner HTML. So here what I am doing in the HTML part, I am just creating a paragraph. I need to give some ID for this. Why? Because based on the ID only I am accessing that element. So what is the ID I am giving? Intro. So here finding HTML elements by ID. This is the initial message I should get. But I am just writing the script here. So document.getElementById. So whoever ID is intro, change their content to hello everyone. Actually, it is supposed to display finding HTML elements by ID. But in the script, what I am doing? Just modifying that content by using that ID. So what I will get? I will get hello everyone. We'll see the output for this. So what I'm getting here? Hello everyone. So if I don't write this, I will get finding HTML elements by ID only. But in the script tag, you are trying to modify that content using this method get element by ID. So that's why it is overriding with a hello everyone. So this is the first method. And coming to the second method, here we are accessing the elements based on the tag name. In the previous one, we are accessing the elements based on the ID. But here we are accessing the elements based on the tag name. So here the method is get elements by tag name. Observe the difference here. We are adding S here. Get elements by ID. Why? Because we are using tag name, right? For example, I am just writing P, hello. And I am writing one more P. So totally you have 3 P's in your program. But if I call this method, how many P's we have? 3 P's. So obviously it will give 3 P's. Obviously it will return 3 P's. So that I cannot use get element here. We have multiple elements. We may have multiple elements. So to satisfy that, we are making this method as get elements by tag name. So the tag name you need to pass as the parameter. And along with that, one more condition here is you need to use the array index here. If you have 3 elements with the same name and you're trying to access that, then how many elements it will return? 3 elements it will return. So P of 3 it will return. So what are the elements? P of 0, P of 1, P of 2. Right? So which element you want to modify? The first element? then go with P of 0, second element P of 1, third element P of 2. So like that you need to specify the index also, and the remaining thing is same. Inner HTML will write the content. So what is the content? Hello. So now what actually HTML supposed to display? We are creating an HTML part with 2 paragraphs here. See, observe, I am not giving any ID for these paragraphs. Simply I am writing paragraph. So the first HTML paragraph is containing finding HTML elements by tag name. This is the first line I should get. And this example demonstrate get elements by tag name. That thing I should get. I should get them as output. But in the script, what you're doing, you're trying to modify these 2 elements. How I'm modifying? See here, the first element you're specifying the index as 0. The second element you're specifying the index as 1. So the first P will be changed to hello and the second P will be changed to bye. So we'll try to see the output. So first line I'm getting hello and the second line I'm getting bye. So now if I remove these 2, I should get the initial text. So finding HTML elements by tag name is the first paragraph, and this example demonstrates the get elements by tag name method is the second paragraph. But we are overriding these paragraphs using these 2 methods. What is the method? Get elements by tag name. So if I simply write element here and if I try to execute this, so it's not modifying. See, the same output I am getting. Actually, we know the second one is correct. First one is not correct, but it is not moving to the second line also. Why? Because the first line, at the first line itself, it is tracking. So 0, you are not able to access, right? So, but it's not displaying the second one also. So if I give elements here, I'm able to get hello and bye. So third method under this method 2. So here we are accessing the elements based on the class name. So we have seen the first 2 methods, right? The first one based on ID and the second one based on tag name and the third one based on the class name. So you can group some tags or some elements to a common class by using class attribute. For example, in this program, if you see, I have taken 2 paragraphs here. For these 2 paragraphs, I am giving a common class name. So the class is equal to intro and here also the class is equal to intro. So hello world, hi everyone. So these are the text I am expecting as the output. But in the script, what I am doing, document.get elements by class name. Here also S will be there, get elements by class name. Why? Because under one common class, we have multiple elements, right? So that's why you need to use the method get elements by tag name. And what is the, class name. What is the class name we have? Intro. Here also again we have array. So the first element is 0, second element is 1, third element is index 2 and so on like that. So what you are accessing only the first element. So which paragraph should change? Only the first paragraph. So hello world should be changed to hello and the second one I should get as it is, that is hello everyone. So we'll see the output. So the first one, instead of hello world, I'm getting hello, and the second one as it is, I'm getting hello everyone. Right. So these are the 3 different methods. The first one is based on ID. So what is the method? Get element by ID. Element by ID. Why? Because with one ID, we will have only one element. Second one based on the tag name. What is the method? Get elements by tag name. And third one based on class, get elements by class name. So these are the 3 methods comes under method 2. So the method 1, we can access the data only using the form data. What is the array you are using? Forms. But what is the problem with the first method? We can access only the form data. But coming to the second method, we can access all the elements including form data, paragraph data, heading, all those tags you can access using these three methods. So in this video, we have seen about what is DOM, what is HTML DOM, how it will maintain internally, what is the structure of the DOM, how it will maintain the program, and we have seen different methods of DOMs with the example programs. Thank you.